Hello y'all on YouTube, this is Rob with Rob's Nerdy Knives. Today we have a very special review, impressions of a knife loaned to me by a subscriber. Thank you so much for allowing me to check this out. I wanted to check this out. This is a very cool knife by Varga Knives. This is the VBR. It's the Mark IV, or I believe it is, MK14. This is the smaller 3¼ inch one. This is a bolstered titanium frame lock. So these scales fit over the frame, and it's bolstered behind the frame lock. It's got a long clip. Wish the clip was just a little bit shorter. That's a really long clip. But anyways, beautiful knife. I was always interested in checking this out. Now, he didn't have these 6mm O-rings on here. He asked me also if I was interested. I said, hey, it was a little stiff. He said, yeah, if you want to tune it and maybe put some skiffs in there, I would love that. And, you know, just my small way of saying thank you to him, because I actually had the skiffs. If I have them, I'll do it. Sometimes I just don't. And so I did. It's a really, really cool knife. It was really stiff when I first got it. Beautiful compound grind. It's not quite a tanto. It looks like it's still a drop point. You got a beautiful finger choil right there. You can definitely grip high on there. Functional even for big meaty fingers. You might have to, you know, go a little angle, but you know, if you got thinner fingers, it's going to work really nice. You can see here is the over travel stop steel bar insert. Beautiful. This is the, I believe, is this lava flow red carbon? Lava flow fat carbon, I believe it is. It's not Mars Valley, I know that. Titanium clip, T8 hardware all the way around. There is two T8 screws inside underneath the scales. Wait, I'm thinking of the wrong knife. This one doesn't have that. No, that's another knife. Sorry, forget that. It's not a captive pivot. I do know that. But I did put some Loctite in one of the pivots, tighten it up, let it sit, and then we Loctited the other one. Now I use a excuse me, I use a Loctite that it's not super glue. You can just unscrew it and it's fine. It just keeps the screw from traveling, right? Beautiful swedge on top, nice jimping up here, beautifully contoured, very nice contour shape. Fits well in the hand. I have large hands with meaty fingers, and you can see I'm right at all 4 fingers. It fits comfortably with the finger choil. I mean, you could probably do a double extra large, triple extra large hands, right? But you know, it's right at that. This is not super pokey, but it's not pokey, right? When I grip it, it doesn't really dig in too much. It does at times. I can feel it, but it's not horrible, right? It's not on fire. I love this bolstered lock. This is one of my favorites because it really does allow you to do things with a knife left-handed that you typically couldn't do. Now, the reason why I put these little O-rings on there, and he may take them and throw them out. It's, you know, his knife, but I just wanted to do it on there. I thought it'd be a nice compliment to the fat carbon scales, but it allows me to flip it just a little bit nicer, because it is pretty aggressive. It's got a strong detent. It had a ridiculously strong detent when I first got it. I was literally ripping my thumbs up, and he agreed. But he doesn't like a light detent. I like it a little lighter. I put it around medium. Kevin would call this medium to light. He might find this medium, and he can always loosen it up more if it feels it's still too tight. I didn't want to over loosen it, right? I hate doing that. I don't want to fatigue the metal. But I feel like this is what he was thinking about. This is kind of like what he likes. It's drop shut, but it's a very controlled drop shut. See that? It will drop shut, but it's not guillotine, which I like. That's really nice. It's very controlled. You know, you kind of sometimes shake it just a touch to get it going. Sometimes it'll do it by itself, so that's nice. The flipper works really well, beautifully jimped all the way around. Very nice to actuate. You can do a push button, you can do a light switch, right? Both work really well. I like that a lot. The thumb studs work really well. Reverse flick, front flip, right? You can do that. And then over here, because of the bolster lock, I can get in here and I can easily do a regular thumb flick. And then holding it right here, whoops, let's do that again. I can reverse flick it, really nice. At first, when we first got this, I couldn't even reverse flick it. The detent was so crazy, ridiculously hard. Now it's just really nice. Still has a strong, nice, crisp deployment, I think. I like that a lot. Very cool. Beautifully chamfered all the way around. You know, if this was mine, I might have rounded this just a touch. You know, it's not bad. It's nicely rounded, but I would have definitely gone for a little more contour shape on there. Is that necessary? No. Is it just a personal thing? Yeah. I like, you know, touching up a knife, making it just a little bit better. But this works out really, really well. I love the satin finish. Got one angle here, one angle here, one angle here, and then one angle this way. 4 different angles. They're not the same. That's pretty cool. I believe this is M390. Was it M390? Let me just double check. I think I'm pretty sure it's M390. Right? Yeah, it's M390. M390. And I did put Skiff washers in there. I did record another video for that, and you should probably already seen that by now. A little stropping on there, just kind of, I like a crazy sharp edge, so he gets it back sharper than he sent it, and hopefully he appreciates that, or at least likes that. If he likes a dull blade, I'm sorry, I sharpened it. All I did was stropping. I only stropped it, just so you know. That means I didn't take a full sharpening. I'm gonna put that over here. All that is just you kind of run it, you know. This is how you polish, you know, freshen up an edge, right? And that's what I do, stropping. Just a nice, easy strop. And what that does is, like if you have any burrs or anything, if you use the knife, it'll strop it right up. And this type of strop I have here was a gift, and it's just ridiculously fantastic. It really nicely sharpens up any knife I have. Just really nice. Yeah, you can feel that. It's very, very sticky sharp, very grippy. So that's cool. Love the red fat carbon here, or the lava fat carbon. Just gorgeous, gorgeous scales. Beautifully, and this must be done by Riot because everything, the tolerances are ridiculous. It's got a lanyard pin, so you lanyard folks, yay, rejoice. Has a little texture back here, so if you were going to do like a push cut, I guess you have a little texture there. Or if you're doing a pull cut, you know, you can, I don't know. It looks nice, but I think it might also attempt to be functional in a way. For bigger hands, maybe not. Yeah, everything's really smooth. I did put Skiff washers in there, and that made a big difference. That's where you see this drop shut now. See, just kind of just buttery smooth drop shut. There's no grittiness to it. The other nice thing about you know, putting Skiffs in, if there were pivot rock, that takes care of it. That goes away. There's no blade play, and when it closes, you're gonna hear a nice click on the detent. Let's listen. Nice click. Do it again. Nice click. Materials: titanium, M390. Nice thumb studs, Volcano, titanium clip, red fat carbon scales on top. It is a sub-frame lock, a bolster frame lock right here. Does have a steel bar insert. Beautiful action, wonderful. Everything's really nice, right? So let's do some measurements on this guy. Let's see what this weighs. So, coming in at 4.5 ounces. So it's a 4.5 ounce knife. Not bad. Not bad at all. All right. So let's see, what is the overall length of this knife? Let's take a look with my big giant tape measure here. All right, so we're looking at a knife that's going to be probably, about 7.5 inches, yeah? So we're looking at about 7.5 inches, right? We're looking at a handle from tip to the back, about 4.25 inches. The actual grip on here is about 3.5. If you do the finger choil, you probably get about 4.5 inches. Overall blade length is going to be just under 3 inches, probably 2, and I want to say 7/8 of an inch, right? So not bad at all. All right, so let's do the blade stock thickness on this guy. All right, so what I'm going to do here, let me see if I can stand it up like that. So 163 thousandths of an inch. So that's more than, 0.12, and it's less than 0.2. It's definitely, 0.16, 1.17 inches. That's not a little blade. So, I mean, not an insignificant amount of thickness, but the hollow grind makes it really nice and slicey. It's got a robust tip, great for poking into dog food, cat food, fertilizer, mulch, cases of water, Amazon boxes, Christmas, birthday, anniversary gifts. Great utilitarian, nice tip. Beautifully dead centered. So all that is pretty stinking cool. So what about the price? So this knife is definitely, they were running almost $400. So it's definitely going to be in the, what I would consider, I call it at least a high-end knife. That's $300 to $600, right? So it's not quite a regular knife. It's not quite a super high-end knife, but it's definitely very, very cool. The purpose of this is EDC, absolutely. Now, for larger hands, it might be a little more difficult. They do make a 3.5, maybe 3 and 3.75 inch one, a much larger one, and that may be worthwhile getting because it's so big, right? Especially if you've got larger hands, and this is too small. This is a great small EDC size. The contouring on here is phenomenal. I mean, even though I would have rounded this, it still is beautifully rounded. It's very, very comfortable. And if the clip fits right into the groove, it's fine. It's when the tip digs in somewhere. You just got to keep an eye on that. I suspect the bigger knife works a little bit better, and I wonder if this is the same clip that's on the bigger one. So yeah, definitely everyday EDC. Could you hard use it? You could. It's a nice knife. It's a higher end knife, right? I mean, this would be a collection for some people. Is it a collection piece for some? Yeah, absolutely. They may never use it. For others, it's definitely a collection piece, but they would use it. And then for others, it's just a everyday abuse up, beat up knife. It depends on where you're at, right? I like it. I like it a lot. I wish there was the in-between size. That would be my ideal. I love the action that it's getting here. Riot did a great job as the OEM. Love, love, love that. So, yeah, I think they did an outstanding job, and it can be all the above. Ergos and feel overall, yeah, it feels really good. When I first got it, it was a little tight. It was a little stiff on the detent. It was really crisp. I mean, it was starting to rip my skin off there a little bit, and it made it uncomfortable. Almost became like a collection killer, if you will, right? There's a collection keeper, collection killer, and this would definitely kill it in my collection. But when he said, yeah, go ahead and put skiffs in there and go ahead and tune it, it was a little stiff for him. I tuned it ever so slightly, and that makes all the difference in the world. Beautifully deployment. You can use those thumb studs, reverse flicking now. I like that a lot. It's nice to be able to get that reverse flick with the left hand as well, especially with that bolster lock. It works really nicely, right? You can get in there and really, use that. And then that flipper is just nice. The flipper still got the strong actuations. Feels good. Sorry, I'm off camera here. My desk, I gotta tell you guys, so if you didn't know, my desk motor, I think it's a controller, died during the lightning storm. I think it burnt out the controller to the motors. So I'm trying to get uplift desks to see if they have other parts that I could replace it so I could still work. I don't want to have to get a whole new desk, but anyways, it's stuck at this height, and I'm not going to be able to change it, which is a serious bummer. But yeah, so I can't quite always see the screen where off the camera. So just so you know, that's why sometimes I lose sight that I'm up here or something. So I apologize. But I love this. I love this thing. I think it's really nice. It's a really well-made knife. And I really want to thank that awesome subscriber for allowing me to check it out. And I'm sure he'll be excited to get his knife back. And hopefully he finds this nice. Hopefully this is very, very nice for him, and he enjoys the actuation, if you will, and how I tuned it. I'm hoping it's, if I understood him correctly, I think this is what he was hoping for. So we will see, right? I'm hoping so. I do enjoy working on knives and doing things like that, and so it was an honor to do that because it's a knife I really like. Definitely very interested in. There's been a lot of other acquisitions lately, so this is definitely. It's not a #1 acquisition. It's definitely one I would like to get maybe down the road. Hopefully he has future releases, right? When there were other knives available, they kind of took higher priority. But I love this knife. I think it's great. If you have a chance to get it, you like the knife, you love the aesthetic, I can tell you, if you like super strong detents, you will love this knife. Absolutely get it in your collection. Absolutely get it in your collection. If you like a little medium detent and you're someone who likes to replace skiff washers and you know how to tune a detent, it doesn't need a lot, just a little bit. This is a great knife. This will be an incredible banger, enjoyable knife in your collection. I think you will really, really love it. If you don't like doing any of the above and you don't like super strong detent, keep that in mind. You may not have the perfect knife. It may be a challenge, and at times it may be a little too stiff, and I would hate for you to buy something like this and be disappointed, because it's a great knife once you tune it, right? I mean, and that's the thing. When you get a knife, you don't know. Is it going to be super stiff? If it's not, you never know. It's materials. It's the heat treat. It's whatever, however things work. Nothing's perfect. You can't get the exact same thing every time, so sometimes you have to adjust. And that, to me, is part of the fun and enjoyment of collecting knives. That type of adjustment you can do. So, yeah, I enjoy that. The action now is this is so fun. I've had it at the desk for a while. I got to get it back to him. But I've just really enjoyed flipping this knife. I don't use it, abuse it at all. If you guys ever lend me a knife, this is where it goes. It's right here. I need to record a video, like a little short for this one, because this is definitely a fun knife to do. Yeah. Really, really do like this one a lot. This is pretty stinking cool. Yeah, look at that. Just outstanding. Outstanding. Man. Yeah, so there we go. Very, very cool. I will tell you, I like the ergos. I like how it feels. The flipping action, after I did all the tuning, the The flipping is great. The hand is great. A little bit, that could be a little better, right? The thumb studs are very aggressive, but when you put little O-rings on there, it's really nice. Now, I think the red ones look nice. Black ones could probably might be a little bit nicer. I just didn't have any black ones to give them. Maybe the clear ones. I don't know. I like to put the clear ones on some of the other knives. We'll see. But I think that's nice. The jimping on here is really great on the flipper. The jimping is great on the back, the spine of the blade. It locks in there. It's solid. No blade play. Obviously, no pivot lash because Skiffs usually fixes that. Beautiful detent, nice crisp actuation. It's not still ridiculously super strong like it was before. I think it's really kind of like where you want a knife to be after 6 months to a year. It's great. Yeah, like it. I dig it. I dig it a lot. So, here's the thing. It feels good. It opens well. It closes. I just love this action in closing. It closes beautifully. To me, that closing action alone makes this knife just so much fun. And the flipping is good. It's a good flipper. I mean, it's almost up there where, like, if it was a flipper only, I could be okay with that. I really could. It does the flipping so well. I love the fact that I've got my little bonus here. I love the fact that I've got the thumb studs. That to me makes it just that much more enjoyable. Much more. It's smaller, so sometimes you miss that thumb stud, right? I think a bigger knife would be a little bit easier for some hands. Maybe even me, I don't know. But yeah, that makes it really fantastic. So let's take a look at that. Beautiful red fat carbon scales, hollow grind, compound grind with a flat tip, which is great for pokey into dog food, cat food, fertilizer, mulch, cases of water, boxes, whatever you have, presents. Very cool. I love the scales. I love the fat carbon. It's beautiful. Here's the back. Nice milled titanium clip. I will say it's a nice clip, but I wish that was just not as pokey. Could have rounded it. I get it fits the overall aesthetic. I totally get that. I totally get that. But it would have been nice if it had rounded just a little bit more. Maybe you had more of a curve here like that. I do appreciate the curves everywhere else. It's very comfortable. There's no sharp edges anywhere. Even right here where you typically have a very sharp fat carbon scale, beautifully, nicely rounded. Very, very nice. And that action is just ridiculous. I love, love everything about this knife. So yeah, a fun knife. I mean, it's almost a perfect EDC size for my hand. Almost a little small, but it would definitely work. It could definitely seriously work. Okay, so let's talk about fidgety goodness. The fidgety goodness, how much fidgety goodness? The flipping works solidly. The thumb studs with the O-rings are crazy solid. I love that. I think it's great. Left-handed, the flipping works fantastic. Left-handed, the thumb stud works fantastically. And left-handed with the bolster lock works fantastic. So, I mean, I gotta say that, and then the close, oops, let me do that again. The close with great access to the liner lock. You can see it's a little cutaway. It's definitely access, chamfered here. You definitely have access. It's not fatiguing to disengage that frame lock. As you can see, I can easily get in there. And then you can also see the detent, you clear the detent about right there, which gives you a bunch of room to get to your thumb. So the flipper right here catches on your thumb and you're clear of the detent. So that to me is really nice. Because of all of that, I gotta say the fidgety goodness on this one, it's definitely at least a 95. I'm on the fence of if this is 100. The reason why it's not quite 100 is the thumb studs were a little aggressive in the beginning. I had to do some work to get it to this. And so I feel like 100 is not fair because it didn't come close to what this was out of the box. So I'm gonna give it a 95. You can definitely get a knife like this to about 95. And I think that might be very, very enjoyable for many of you. And I would be super pleased about it. It'd definitely be a very regular carry. The fidgety goodness. So at the fidget factor we talked about is a 95. What is the fidgety? I did that backwards, didn't I? I did. It's a 95. So the fidget factor, we've got the flipper, we got the thumb studs. I'm gonna give it a 7 point. Let me do that again. Hold on. I'm gonna give it a 7.5, which rounds up to an 8. But it's a 7.5. It's not a full 8 straight out. It's not 8.4. It's like a 7.5 rounded up. Fidget factor is 7.5. Out of that, I'm going to give it a 95 for fidgety goodness. Sorry about that, guys. I got it mixed up. So fidgety goodness is a 95, which is outstanding in my book. Absolutely. Is it recommended? Absolutely. I was going to say absolutely. I don't know if that's a word. Making them up as we go along. But yeah, absolutely recommended knife. I think it's phenomenal. I think you would genuinely enjoy this. I've enjoyed getting the chance to check it out. Again, one more time, thank you. It is really, really cool. It's really, really cool. I've just had too many other knives I've been acquiring, so it's not one of those things that I bought to get into my collection. But I love it. I love it. Would I have been happy to have it in my collection? You bet I would. Absolutely, I would. But I've always wondered about this one. I saw it. It always drew to me. I like the handle. The smaller one, I definitely would want the bigger one now that after handling the smaller one. I think the bigger one would be more appealing to me. But, you know, they're sold out of the bigger ones, so at least the one I want. I don't want my Micarta. They had my Micarta for the longest time. I don't know if it's still there, but that's just not my cup of tea. I would do carbon fiber, red fat carbon fiber. This is nice. I can do all of those. Very, very cool blade. Very cool blade. So 100% absolutely recommend it. Definitely get it. If you're on the fence, I'd say go for it. If you like it and you're wondering, go for it. If you're, you know, not quite on the fence and you thought it might look interesting, I'd say go for it. I don't think any of those things you'd be disappointed. So really a stinking amazing knife. So there you go. All right. Hey, thanks for watching, man. I appreciate it. If you have any thoughts on this, you know, if you disagree with me, you think, hey, you're an idiot, you didn't think about this, let me know. I'm okay. I'm not always right? And you can disagree with me. We don't have to agree on knives. If there's something you think I'm wrong about, let me know. But you know what? Try to convince me with rational, logical thought. You know, tell me why. You know, don't just be like, you know, you're an idiot. That does nothing. Really, right? Because I want to hear your perspective. I want to see what insight are you coming from. Is there some experience? Maybe the ergonomics for your hands, for whatever. I want to know. So let me know, okay? I appreciate that. If you found this content fun, interesting, worthwhile, or informative, would you please consider hitting the like button down below? And if you've already hit that like button, would you please consider hitting the subscribe button? Subscribing and liking the videos really helps out the channel, allows the channel grow, produce more content, do more things, ultimately do more things for you guys. So thank you, especially to those of you guys who like, who watch, who subscribe. Man, I really appreciate you. And if you haven't already, hit that notification button down below so you can be notified of future content. And then finally, a big shout out to all my channel members. Man, I appreciate you. Legit. I do appreciate you. If you've been on the fence and you've thought, yeah, I'd like to become a channel member, check out the description down below. I have 3 different tiers. Would love to have you. Be honored. Please don't feel obligated, but it would be a great honor to have you as a channel member. I do try to say thank you once. I do say thank you once a month by doing a channel member giveaway. And also, if you're a brand new channel member or you've been a channel member for a while and you haven't asked me, email me with your name and address. I will mail you a sticker. It's my small way to say thank you. I appreciate you. The higher tiers, there's some extra stuff that you'll get. And check it out. If you want to, you know, be a knife nut or an uber nerd, I would love to have you. So thank you. Also, check me out over on Instagram at robs_nerdy_knives. Again, that's on Instagram at robs_nerdy_knives. Thank you so much for watching today. Have a great day and a great week.